Brothers and sisters, the Jamaican people are very hardworking, they're very passionate, they're very ambitious, they're very creative. If you were to start some construction work here in Jamaica, the amount of Jamaicans that would come ready to work, you wouldn't be able to employ them. If the building companies here in Jamaica build these one room that they call houses, and Jamaicans will buy these houses and turn them into homes, beautiful homes, turn them into mansions, build on upstairs and all around. Jamaicans want everything that everybody else in the world wants, and they're willing to work for it. I remember years ago, about 10 years ago, I was at a meeting at the University of the West Indies where they were talking about economic growth and how we could stimulate growth in the Jamaican economy, because our economy has not grown well over 25 years now. And I never forget, I told the group of politicians and business people and academics, I told them that Jamaica is a place where business people make money and they take the money out of the country. We make money here, and not only are business people who they can live anywhere they want, they live in the United States, many of them, they go home on the weekends, but our politicians do the same thing. We have a Minister of Finance who has been removed recently, but he told the Jamaican people that his woman could not give birth in a Jamaican hospital because her baby was born premature. And brothers and sisters, whether or not the baby was born prematurely, a lot of our politicians, they do not support the Jamaican people and the Jamaican economy. They are paid so well that they are able to buy homes, second homes, third homes in Florida. And they are paid so well, they pay themselves so well that they are able to fly home every week. The leaders in the United States live and work in the United States. They don't live elsewhere and fly in to America to do their job. We had a minister of culture who went into her office one morning and she dumped a bucket of ice and water on her head in her office as part of a competition. What that says to you is that our ministers do no serious work in their offices. Because if you are a minister and you have to go into your office every single day and sit for even 3-4 hours and do serious work, you would not go into your office and call someone and turn on a camera and ask somebody to dump a bucket of ice and water on your head. She goes into her constituency, and there's a picture on Facebook where she goes in her constituency and she's barefooted with her high heels in her hands. She does not know that the people in her constituency doesn't have proper roads and she could not wear her high heels. This is the kind of lifestyle our leaders live. They have absolutely no idea what is going on with the Jamaican people, and they don't care. Now, the brother was saying that the men were lazy. And the Heart Trust NTA is a government training institution where people who drop out of school and they want to go and learn plumbing, carpentry, some skill, you can go there to learn to read and write. I was listening on the radio. So you go there to better your condition. You go there to get a skill. But I'm going to read for you a Gleaner article published in September 11, 2011 about the Heart Trust NTA and what happens to the Jamaican people when they participate in the Heart Trust NTA program. 177 years after slavery was abolished in the British West Indies, Jamaica's National Training Agency, Heart Trust, still has to deal with color prejudice. Employers who are requesting that trainees be brown or light-skinned as a prerequisite for employment in their firms. A highly placed source at Heart Trust told our news team that on the one hand, some employers note the discriminatory request on forms provided by Heart Trust under a section that asks them to list specifications that the prospective trainee should meet. On the one hand, some employers spew out their bigoted requirements to the face of the Heart Trust training agents or training support officers. So in other words, you are a dark-skinned Jamaican. You are trying to better yourself, and you go to the Heart Trust NTA, you receive your training, and you will not get a job because of the color of your skin. And that is happening right now in Jamaica today. I raised this issue in front of 2 ministers in a public meeting at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel with over 600 Jamaicans present. And the minister at the time said to me that he was not aware of this problem, and if I know about it, I should go and report it to the police. Our leaders have made a pact with the business people in Jamaica to allow them to discriminate, to marginalize, and to exploit the Jamaican people, and they will not deal with it. You can go on a beach here in Jamaica, a beach that you went to as a child, and our leaders bring in the big hoteliers, and they create big hotels and they put up barriers. And if you as a black-skinned Jamaican go on that beach, the security guard is going to come to you and tell you to leave that beach. They are allowing the business people to have their way and to create a kind of apartheid system on the island, where when you go to certain places on the island, you are not welcomed as a Jamaican, and in particular as a black-skinned Jamaican. And this is the reality that Jamaicans have to deal with. This is one of the reasons why our women are bleaching their skin so much. And sometimes people ridicule our people because you don't understand. When you are black-skinned in Jamaica, you can feel the hatred. You can feel in certain places that you are not welcomed here. We will not give you a job at this place. The Jamaican people feel it, and they know it, and they live it. And it is that pain that they are going through. It is the pain that they are feeling that they express in the form of bleaching, which is very dangerous. but it tells you how much anguish and how much hopelessness our people are experiencing, and our leaders deny it. They will not challenge it. They will not create laws against it. They will protect the business people over and over again. They will either make you who are raising the issue look like you don't know what you're talking about. But I never forget that meeting, because after it ended, the people in that meeting came to me and they all thanked me and they said to me, "We know racism is here." And I noted that every single one of my brothers and sisters that came to me and said, "Yes, we are experiencing racism. It is a real issue on the island." Every single one of them were black-skinned Jamaicans. I was downtown about 2 years ago, and I saw a sister standing over a piece of tarpaulin, and the police was taking up the tarpaulin. It had clothes on it. This is right on Orange Street, right across from where Sovereign Supermarket used to be, where we now have Tasty. And I went to the policeman as he was bent over, picking up the tarpaulin of clothes that this sister was selling, and she was standing there with the saddest look on her face, watching this policeman taking up the tarpaulin to put in the Jeep. And I said to that policeman, "This woman is doing something to feed her children." And there was an elder policeman standing beside him, and he said to me, "Is murder illegal? Is rape illegal?" And I was very puzzled, and he looked at me and he said, "What she is doing is illegal. She is breaking the anti-litter law." Brothers and sisters, I know of this taking place from I was a child. From I was 8, 9 years old, I had to go on the street because my mother was a vendor downtown Kingston, and I had to go and I watched the police come and take away the merchandise that people were selling. But I did not know that they were saying that what we were doing was littering the streets. Now you have a country in which you have 30% unemployment and perhaps even more underemployment. You have a country in which they just raised the minimum wage and they are paying our people the equivalent of $50 a week. Even $50 a week, 7,000 Jamaican dollars. Can't do anything, brothers and sisters. That's the reality. So our people will go out on the streets. They go out on the streets of downtown Kingston, and some of them will bring in merchandise to sell from Miami and elsewhere. Some of them will go into the wholesale and they will buy a dozen brassieres, some underwear, and they will stand on the street and they will try to do something to help themselves. And it is so shameful. I remember one day a lady was selling some accus in front of the Ward Theatre downtown, and I stopped and I said, "Sis, how much are the accus?" And I noticed she had the accus in a box closed up, and I said to her, "Why don't you put out the accus so I can see them?" And she said to me, "I don't want Metro to take them away." And I said to her, "Would they really take your accus? You're talking about something that you sell for $1 per dozen." And she said, "Yes. The Jamaican government will send out people to kick over your cabbage in the gutter. You're uptown, you're at half a tree, and right outside the transport center one day, I saw the police telling the vendors to move. And I noticed there was a man with a cart selling hot dogs. And I said to the brother selling the gizzada, do they tell the brother selling the hot dogs to move? He said no. The hot dog stand has the name of the big chicken company on it. And what has been happening lately is that the chicken company has been now selling and producing pork. So after they finish taking out the best part of the pork, you know, they grind up the skin and all the fat and the leftovers, and they make their hot dogs. So a lot of hot dog stands are now all over Jamaica. If you go into the bus park, there's a hot dog stand downstairs selling the children as they come into the bus park hot dogs. I saw one day on Constant Spring Road where the sisters were selling fruits. A lot of Jamaicans will go and get some ripe bananas, they'll go and get some pine, some neeseberry, whatever is in season, and they will put out a little stall and they will try to sell their fruits. And I saw the police telling the sisters who were selling the fruits to leave. And I noticed they said nothing to the person who was selling the hot dog a couple feet away. Brothers and sisters, we are the ones who are going to have to take charge of our own affairs. We are the ones who are going to have to say to our leaders, you must address these issues. You must provide opportunity for the Jamaican people. The business people go and they list their companies on the stock exchange and they get a 4-year tax break. You have people that come in from China, from India, and they go and they set up business downtown and they pay no taxes. Nobody goes in there and trouble them. Nobody asks them to pay taxes for the workers. I was downtown one day. I was trying to slip $100 to one of the workers in the wholesale, and she told me she couldn't take $100 from me because they watch them. They have cameras all over. And because the sister had given me such good service, I wanted to give her that $100, which is 90 cents. And she couldn't take it. And she's going home with the equivalent of $50 for the week. And these people come in, they receive help, they receive tax breaks from the government. Our government will sit with the business people and hear their problems, give them tax breaks, help them, give them sweetheart deals, give them concessions. But if you are a Jamaican who can't afford to set up a store and you just have a little money and you go out there and you are trying to do something to help yourself, your government sends the police to come and take away your goods. I remember a sister with tears in her eyes one day. She showed me the paper that she had gotten from the court. And she had to pay what was about $300, $400 at the time to get back her goods. And she said to me, I haven't been able to buy a pair of shoes for my daughter. And the school term had just started. And these things are going on for years, you know. And there's something, the spirit of our people are waking up, and our people want a better life and they're willing to work hard. I love the Jamaican people and I believe in them, and I don't buy the argument that Jamaicans are lazy. Jamaicans are not lazy. I will go into Anic Gardens and I'll call the brothers, some brothers who have been deported. I said to them, brothers, clean up the place. And I give them 100 pounds of chicken and I give them some peas and rice and they cook it for the children. Jamaicans are hardworking and they want to be a part of something progressive. The minister at the university, she came to me and she said, when Jamaicans go abroad, she said the big hoteliers say to her, Jamaicans will go abroad and they will take 3 hours to build a door for the hotels. And I never forget, she said, here in Jamaica they take 4 or 5 days to build one door. You know why a Jamaican will take 4 or 5 days to build a door? Because you're paying the person $50 a week. Because people recognize the abundance that is on the island. And you are making so much. The hotels are pricing their rooms in US dollars. And they are not charging the same rate that they were charging a year ago or 2 years ago. But every time they increase the minimum wage, it equates to about $50 US. When they raised the minimum wage back in 2012 to $5,000, the dollar was at $100 to 1. So they increased the minimum wage from $4,500 and they brought it up to $5,000. So what happens over time is that $50 US, the purchasing power of that money gets less and less because the dollar keeps moving. It now takes 135 Jamaican dollars to purchase $1 US. When I was born in 1977, the Jamaican dollar was stronger than the US dollar.